Hello again, and welcome back to another one. And today we have more to cover as Eminem's Music to be Murdered by Side B spends the fourth day at #1 on US iTunes, and associates like King Crook, White Gold, and Skylar Grey had some things to add to the discussion surrounding the album. And at the latter part of the video, I'll be covering UMG CEO's letter that answers questions raised about Eminem a few days ago on social media, like this for instance. Honestly, who is actually listening to Eminem? Like seriously? As we dive in, if you enjoy content like this, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and find me on social media at ETLifestyle_web. So I'll get this out of the way first. White Gold, who's featured on Zeus, has been on a roll on social media in terms of supporting the song. And even before the new deluxe album dropped, he was quite active on Twitter. And who remembers when he called out the fake tracklist that was going around, where the tracklist claimed there was a song with him and Eminem titled Demons and Zeus. We all know how this turned out, but White Gold responded then stating, "Never heard a song called Demons and Zeus to be honest." And it turned out that alluded to two separate songs, these Demons and Zeus. And following a report that shows that on iTunes, Zeus is now the #1 song from the album, he reacted with, "Hey man, not trying to say anything, but it's outperforming the joint that has a video, the people have spoken." And so far, on the streaming side of things, that is the #1, and for pure sales, Zeus is #1. And just in case you missed it, White Gold believes Zeus is definitely the best song on B-side. Moving on, we head to King Crook's comment about the Eminem and Snoop drama. And if you recall, I made a video where the fake tracklist suggested that Be Please Part 3 was gonna be on B-side. And Crook touched on this recently on Twitter after he started with the usual "What's today's rap discussion?" The user replied, "Em and Snoop, what's happening?" And Crook replied with, "Be Please Part 3 may not happen now, huh?" And seeing some reactions, we have to give a round of applause to how the media played those who only read headlines when they covered that infamous Snoop interview where he dogged Eminem, because people still believe it was about a list, hence responses like this. Snoop just gave his opinion, that was just his view, I accept it. It was not the same as El Jamar's comments on M. I felt a type of way, but nothing like what Jamar kept saying. And I'm a mild M stan, really don't want them to be beefing. Clearly, this user didn't get to the part where Snoop said when it comes to hip-hop, he can do without Eminem's music. And coming from someone in his camp, that's a comment even El Jamar would be proud of. But I agree, don't want the beef to escalate, as Be Please Part 3 needs to happen. And here's a comment from the video I did on the rumor days before the deluxe dropped. "If there's no Be Please Part 3, I'ma just cry, but that will not last long, unless if the whole album doesn't drop, then I'ma be depressed." Little did this user know that instead, Snoop was gonna get called out on the album, but at least the user is not depressed. Moving on, while White Gold stays doing his thing propping up Zeus, Skylar Grey dropped a thread about Black Magic, the second best performing song on the B-side on streaming platforms so far. And in the thread she states, "It's actually perfect that Black Magic came out at Christmas time. My whole life I've lived in my own imaginary world inside my head. Whatever people were doing around me, I was usually doing the opposite." She continues, "During my vampire phase at age 8, I dressed in all black and went around biting people in church. During lunch at school, as others were vying for the best seat at the table, I was sitting alone at the piano in the band room writing songs between bites of sandwich. And during the holidays when family was gathering, I was being antisocial, sneaking away to my room to listen to Eminem and manifest my destiny." M has stuck around so long at the top that many associates today were huge fans growing up, and talking about decades at the top, it links to our next point. A few days before the album dropped, there was a huge meltdown on Twitter when Eminem's Spotify Wrapped was revealed that showed that he topped 4 billion streams. And even when the side B dropped, here's a reaction to a post about Eminem apologizing to Rihanna. It's 2020 and somebody still listening to Eminem? Well, the CEO of UMG, parent company of Interscope, dropped some more answers to those who still wonder to show some UMG highlights of 2020. And on Eminem, the letter from the CEO states, "Based on Nielsen data, 8 of the top 10 artists in the US year to date, including #1 with Drake, Taylor Swift, Juice, Weeknd, Post Malone, Pop Smoke, Lil Baby, and Eminem." And the letter adds, 4 of the top 5 most streamed artists in the UK, Drake, Eminem, Billie Eilish, and Lewis. In Canada, top 5 artists, Eminem, Drake, The Beatles, Queen, Post Malone. In Australia, Top 5 most streamed artists on Spotify: Zeus, Drake, Taylor Swift, Eminem, and Weeknd. And if the CEO wasn't clear enough on who is listening to Eminem in 2020, Rap Caviar recently dropped a list of the most streamed hip-hop albums of 2020, and as you can see, Music to Be Murdered By is at number 7 for the year. But quote-unquote cool cats on social media stay wondering who still listens to Eminem, so this was some comedy to end the video. Comment below, thanks for watching, and see you on the next one.